Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Piofiore. I love this game so much. Let's hope it stays that way. We are getting down to it. We have 2 more chapters. We're in chapter 8. We have chapter 8 and chapter 9, and then we got our ending. I don't know if that's like another hour, if it's 2 hours, if it's 6 hours. Who the hell knows? Because sometimes some of the chapters go pretty fast and some of them are long. So, at any rate, we're getting down there, though. So, we just finished our simple breakfast. We spoke again from where we left off yesterday. So, about each organization's standing. The Visconti's holding neutral ground now. It doesn't seem as though they'll intervene in our affairs anytime soon. Okay, so someone on Reddit pointed out that he stands just like fucking Hijikata, and now I can't unsee it. I can't not see it. Also, he has the same grouchy face. And Hijikata was our marshmallow in Hakuoki, but now I can't not see it, and I'm literally gonna be... He was also our... They're both marshmallows, and it's like, oh god, okay. Alright! Anyway. I see. That's good to hear. Spacey Space? This Spacey in this game is not the dumbass derp nugget that Spacey in that game, Chizuru, was. Like, that bitch fell off a fucking cliff multiple times. We jumped out a fucking window and we're like, woo! Get out of here! We are way fucking better. All I'm saying. Just saying. Also, we don't have the giant eyes that are falling out her stupid saucer-eyed McDerp face. Just want to slap. This girl is like, oh, she's cute. She's got the giant eyes, but like, they fit her face, and I'm appreciative of that, okay? Hakuoki really fucking ruined everything with that. She should have just never had a sprite. Just don't draw her. She ruins everything because she looks stupid. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Random, so Italian Mafia Hijikata over here. He really does stand the same way. Sometimes you see their poses and there's something familiar about it, but you don't really think about it. Never dawned on me. But also, the way Gilbert stands, like, I know in a part or 2 back, I was like, look at the way he's standing. There was something in my brain that goes, it looks so familiar, but I can't figure out why. Someone will know, oh yeah, that's exactly how this character stood. And I guarantee you, it's exactly that. It's the exact same way another character in another Otome stood, but I can't figure out who it is, but there's a familiarity with it. Oh my god. Anyway. If the Falzone had to face both the Visconti and the Lao Shu, the situation could take a turn for the worse. And the problem now is the Lao Shu. Yang said that he wanted to be wanted in on the blessings from the relic. And... oh! There's our pretty boy. I really need a better voice for him. I just don't know. He's too good, but I can't do the Irish accent for him. I'm trying to think of it in my head. No. Anyway, simple. We want to receive the blessings that this land has been given as well. Look, I gotta do better for him. I know it. He's so beautiful. God, it's not gonna do me any favors if you all die now. It's not his voice. It's not. He needs better, but I don't have anything. I can't give him the same voice that frickin' Dante has. And then he can't have the kind of gruff voice, because that's what frickin' Gilbert has. And he can't have... and he definitely does not have the fucking Saint Germain voice. That's Direttore. Oh, I love him. Our Phantom of the fucking Casino. That's him now. He's important to me, even though he's barely shown up. But you can't show me that and be like, I love this mysterious man and I want him. But anyway, was he serious back then? I'm not sure. I don't know how much the Lao Shu actually know about the relic. He also mentioned something unusual. You mean how he needs us alive? I wonder what he meant by that, and what kind of blessings come from the relic. Dante thought for a moment, then spoke again. Oh. According to legend, the sacred relic is said to bring blessings onto this land in the form of miracles. Those of prominence who owned the relic used it to prove their right to rule. They professed they were chosen by God to receive his blessings. If that's true, then the relic must have been sought after by so many throughout the years. So, Dante, do they say what kind of miracles are bestowed by Berlone's relic? I don't know. The popular legend of the Holy Grail suggests the purging of illness, but... The Holy Grail? Sorry. All of the Monty Python fucking references have just, like, flown into my head, and I can't... Okay. Shh, we're not gonna go... Your bloody arm stood off. It's only a flesh wound. Oh my God. Well, I didn't vote for you. I'm sorry, I can't help it. You can't say the Holy Grail without all of those things in my head just all wanting to come out, and I just want to sit here and quote that entire movie. Okay. A grail said to have been used during the Last Supper. It is also rumored to be used to catch the blood from God's Son during his crucifixion. Legends speak of it as a holy artifact that brings divine healing and bounty. On second thought, let's not go to Camelot. 'Tis a silly place. I can't help it. I wasn't sure whether I should even ask this, but there's something I wanted to ask you. Why is Burlone hiding the sacred relic's existence? If it were made public, I'm sure the town would receive a number of pilgrims. More people would mean that Burlone could thrive as a bigger and wealthier town. It seems counterintuitive to hide the relic from the public. I recall that they mentioned the relics were widely known and seen as objects of worship. Dante and Nicola had discussed it. That's the problem. The relic here has been kept secret from the public. Which is why the church has made sure to keep the Kingdom of Italy away from this town. The church watches over this town because the relic needs to be hidden? What did all this mean? Or what did this all mean, sorry? I looked at Dante, waiting for him to speak. See, she's not like, okay, she's like, huh, but like, why don't we... Like, she asks questions. Decent questions. That, I see. When you're like, no, you don't, because I don't either. Like, after a moment of silence, Dante sighed and proceeded somewhat reluctantly. Do you remember when Yang told me that we were the keepers of the grave? Come to think of it, I seriously thought the Phantom of the Opera was the relic, but I guess not. Sorry, Phantom of Casino. And the keepers of the grave. How delightful. He needs better. I don't have a voice for him. Sorry, it's terrible. But I also hesitate to give him the terrible accent because I just don't know if I can take him seriously that way. That might make all the trauma that he does to us in his route better, I don't know. That's what Yang said when Dante came to rescue me. And that's what the Falzone family was called long ago. And that's about all I can say. You see, I nodded and accepted his response, seeing that he was obviously unhappy speaking about it. And like, maybe he can't tell us because it needs to come out later in other routes. I mean, you can't get everything here, right? I wonder if the grave refers to an important person's grave that can't be made public. As I pondered over what the title meant, I continued on, changing the subject. So the Falzone has been watching over Burlone's sacred relic? Doesn't that mean that the relic belongs to you and the Falzone family? I just well, see, that's why the grave and the relic, that's why I also was like, oh, it's a person. But it's a relic. Maybe the relic is a person. Or it could be entombed somewhere and then, like, that's what they're calling a grave, but it's not actually a human's grave. You know what I mean? Like, you'd just be throwing that term around a little willy-nilly, like, no, we're simply watchers and guardians of the relic and this land. Well, if you did have the rights to the relic, would you be able to get its blessing? I suppose in a sense, and that's probably why Yang's trying to obtain the rights to it. But in order to get the relic, one would first need to break the seal, which means Yang won't kill us yet. I can only assume, but I don't fully believe in this blessing that the relic supposedly bestows, despite being head of the Falzone. I doubt that Yang from another country is pious enough to believe it either. So, could Yang be looking for something else? Maybe there's another use for the relic. He's looking for the Holy Grail. It's a big-ass cup. It's a lot of fucking wine you could drink at one time without having to get up. All I'm saying. And that may be a possibility. It's not the Holy Grail, but I'm just saying if it was, it would explain, you know. He could negotiate with the church and trade it for riches. All I knew was that something terrible would happen if Yang got hold of the relic. And yet it's really weird that the church, I'm just throwing this out here, the church is like, you know what, Dante, you and your family suck, so we're gonna, like, kind of make Yang fight you for it so he gets the relic. Oh, now you're gonna blackmail us, Yang? What the fuck? Like, duh. Did you not? Duh. Like, how stupid is the fucking church? Like, who the hell is running? Oh my god, you're like 112. You need to retire, dude. Because you are not smart enough if you just didn't think that... Really? You thought Yang was going to be like, okay, I'll protect it. No. Yang is going to backstab you all. He's a shady fucking... He's a shadier bitch than fucking Nicola. Well, Nicola's a shady bitch, and actually Yang is just straight up fucking evil, and you know it. You know by looking at him, you're like, you're evil. He just looks it. He's not shady. He's straight up an asshole. There's no doubt about it. Like Nicola, you'd be like, we trusted you. And you expect... You're like, I should have known you'd backstab me because you just seem shady, but like, I still trusted you and it's my own fault. But like, Yang, you trusted him. Really? You're like, I don't know why I didn't think he'd backstab me. Duh. You're an idiot. Come on. Can't you gain rightful ownership of the relic before Yang does? That's... Regardless of whether Yang uses it for profit or abuses it for its blessing, he'd still bring about casualties to the town. I can't deny that. It's an inevitability as long as the Lao Shu is here. Well then, why don't you obtain the rights to the relic before Yang does? Dante could receive its blessings or use it to bargain with the church. Orlok said that the Falzone won't receive any more support from the church, right? If you hold the relic hostage, you will. I shall leave you with this warning. The church will not wait for much longer. Will not continue to offer the protection we have previously bestowed. You could use the relic in exchange for the church's support again. Support me or the relic gets it! I'm telling you. I understand what you're saying. It makes sense, but... the Falzones are merely guardians. There's no way I could exploit it in that fashion. Generations of guarding the relic made it difficult for Dante to abuse it. But they're abusing you, so I'm just saying... You're better than the church. But, Dante, your status as guardian is only because of Berlone's relic, isn't it? If you lose the relic, you'll also lose your purpose in guarding it. I suppose you're right. He closed his eyes to think. After a moment, he opened them again with resolve. He's a better person than most of the people in this game. The Falzone family, the mission assigned to me after generations. This town. I want to protect them, and you. It's like deja fucking vu, because I'm like, if he says anything about protecting, okay. And that said, I don't have much time to do what I can for now. I could tell that any reluctance he had was now gone from his expression. Sweet, we're going on a trading mission! I was happy to be filled with spirit again and asked another question out of curiosity. So where is the tomb and the relic? He's like, no fucking clue. Sweet! Come to think of it, do you know where the relic is hidden? Okay. She and I are on the same page! You and me, same, girl! Yes, but... Do you remember I said how we needed 2 things to break the seal? Yes, something about Falzone blood and the Key Maiden. Dante was referring to me. The problem is, aside from that information, I have no clue how to break the seal. It would be easy if all we needed to do was go where the relic is hidden. I'm not certain that what I'm saying even sounds real, even if it is a sacred item. And if nobody else knows where it is, and you go and poke around and like whatever, people could follow you and find where it is, so it's kind of like you gotta know how to break it before you go, just in case anyone follows it, and you're like, bitch, I got it! It doesn't mean they can't take it from you, but I'm just saying. Dante had a point. I pondered over the idea, then looked again at Dante. Dante, I was hoping that you might share a few more details about what the Falzone line has been told through the years. Right. It's said that the Falzone family is descended from a particular saint. The Falzone was commissioned to guard the sacred relic, and legend states that the saint was granted the key to heaven. The key to heaven? And the seal to the relic can be broken only when the Key Maiden and another who carries the blood of the saint come together. Oh, all we have to do is have sex on the relic. Oh, this is turning into a porn. Okay, weird. I mean, I turned it into one, but... Like, are you shocked? And that's about all I know. You see... Well, why don't we start by going to where the relic lies? What? Dante looks surprised. I mean, we certainly won't get anywhere by staying put. Not that I think we'd solve everything just by going, but I'm sure we can find a lead once we're there. If we can somehow break the seal with only our presence, even better. Dante had a blank look on his face. I guess he didn't expect me to say that. Dante? I peered at Dante's face to see what was wrong. It's simply amazing, Space. Did I say something? His sudden laughter caught me off guard. I'm sorry, you're right. We should just go there, and if we can get the relic, lucky us. So you agree? Dante smiled and nodded. We've kept watch over the place for ages, but hardly anyone ever goes there. I don't recall reading any records of a key maiden visiting, so I suppose it's worth a shot. Which would be funny if we just have to go, we have to be together. Like, we could go with Nicola, because he's got the blood, right? But how... Nobody else's route would be able to unlock the relic. Unless they stab Dante, you know what I mean? Like, or kidnap him. Wouldn't put it past Yang, all I'm saying. It's strange. I feel like my mind has opened all options simply by being with you. I just say what I'm thinking, that's all. I was a bit embarrassed by his words, but I mustered the strength to express my honest feelings. Meanwhile, story flattery. Kind of topical. Oh, we already did Daystar? Oh, I guess we did. Oh.
This is so boring. Faye's dead and Yang isn't around. I took a look around the empty table and grabbed a tumbling. Yang told me to stay put or die, but it's really boring here.
You seem bored. I didn't expect you to be this way just because you lost your partner.
What? I'm not in the mood to play with you, Lee.
I just wanted to cheer you up. I can give you something to get you high, you know.
No thanks. I don't need that stuff. I refused Lee's offer. I could tell my voice didn't sound as energetic as usual.
Lonely without your partner, aren't you? This isn't bad stuff. Consider it a game. Lee sounds like... Okay, you're sounding like... It's not like, hey, I got some drugs if you want to... Okay, cool, girl. He is like trying to get us to take drugs, and it sounds shady, but we're supposed to be on the same side here, you and I. Like, I don't know what's going on here, buddy. No need to be reliant on it either. I think of it as something with which to pass the time.
He looked up and glared at Lee's nagging face.
Interesting. Why is he trying to give her drugs? Uh-huh. Okay. I'm happy I can be of help to you, Dante. And so, we decided to head to the ruins together, to the place where the relic was said to lie. Dante contacted Leo to send someone to pick us up. It was crucial to ride in a car now that the townsfolk were riled up from the news. We got into the car that arrived and headed to the entrance of a forest. We walked through the woods to the ruins where the sacred relic was sealed. I've never been here before. Really? And this forest isn't very far from town. I was told as a child that the forest was home to wolves. Well, there are wolves along the edges of the forest closest to the road. They don't come around here, so consider this place safe. Really? Suppose there's a lot more that I still don't know about the area. The moment I finished speaking, I tripped over a root and felt myself losing balance. Oh, he's going to catch us and we're going to get a beautiful CG. Watch out! Beautiful CG? No? No? Okay. Dante wrapped his arms around my body to hold me up. He brought a hand down to my back to support me while using his other hand to hold mine. I felt my heart beat quickly, seeing his azure eyes flickering so close to mine. You've already kissed him, though, so it's like... That's true, I forgot about it. It's not like the... Are you going to kiss me? Wait, we're already in love with each other, so... I mean, you could if you want. Are you alright? Did you hurt your foot? Don't push yourself here. Thank you. I'm fine. You see. Well, good. I'm glad. I love the fact that he's fucking awkward like we are. We're almost there. Let's keep going. Dante removed his hand from my back, but his other hand was still holding my hand. My heart beat even faster than before. Oh, names. We finally arrived at the ruins said to house the sacred relic. This place... I think Sister Sophia told me about this place before. She mentioned that there's an old church over the hills outside of town. And the Falzone family has kept watch over and maintained this place for generations. I didn't know that. I'd heard rumors that death lived here, but I wasn't scared with Dante around. Also, it's weird because, like, I guess maybe they wouldn't think, but if you're trying to, like, where's the secret relic hidden, and there's an old abandoned church, but the Falzone family kind of takes care of it? Yeah, that sounds sus. Like, you wouldn't think to look there? I guess they do it in secret, but... He held my hand and slowly walked into the ruins. Ooh, that's pretty. The inside wasn't as bad as it appeared from the outside, likely because of the upkeep Dante mentioned. Aside from a crumbling altar, there wasn't much else inside. Is the relic here? We both looked curiously around the area in awe and amazement. Dante, have you been here before? Just once. My father brought me here when he first told me about the Falzone's mission. Well, let's take a closer look around. We should keep an eye out for anything unusual. Like, I don't know, the chalice in the center there? It looks fine. The giant chalice in the center there, it's probably a fountain. Right, or what used to be a fountain. Oh, it is cracked, but... We both began looking around in search of anything interesting. I don't know, this whole, like, background is interesting to me. I like how they're actually just panning over, like, the sides of the thing. You're like, there is nothing happening here. Like, we poured over the altar and the walls, checking every nook and cranny. We came up with nothing after thoroughly examining all the accessible areas. We touched and pushed things, but to no avail. Oh, seriously, just gotta find the bookshelf and then move all the books. There's no bookshelf in there. And you should have expected as much. After all, it would have been too convenient. Dante frowned a bit and gave a sigh. I could tell he was slightly disappointed. You think Nicholas stole it already? You never know, he may have. I wasn't even informed of where in these ruins the sacred relic was sealed. You'd think they'd have told you that, since you are now the leader of the family. I'm just saying. At some point, that's like, I'm in charge of the family, and I don't tell the next heir, this is the job that we're doing, and this is where and then you die, and everyone's like, no one fucking knows now. Like, it's kind of important to pass that information down if you don't have written documentation. Which I doubt you do, because it'd be too easy for people to get their hands on. So it's the word of mouth. I'm going to sit you down and tell you the story, but I didn't, and now we're fucked. So, like, so what were you going to tell your kids? There's some kind of a secret relic thing, and we're, like, protecting it or some shit. Like, no wonder why the church has lost faith in you. You guys don't even know what the fuck you're doing anymore. Look, I love you, Dante, don't get me wrong, but, like, you're like, there's a relic somewhere, and we're doing something? Like... It's like a game of telephone. Like, you've gotten to this point, and everyone's like, originally there was a guy, and there was something, and we were doing something with him, but I don't remember. Like, and perhaps it's buried deep underground, though I don't see any markings here. We must be missing something. I tried to recall everything we had talked about, searching for an idea. Come to think of it, we've kept watch over the place for ages, but hardly anyone ever goes there. I don't recall reading any records of a key maiden visiting, so I suppose it's worth a shot. That's it, it's me! Dante's words sparked a thought in my mind. Dante? You said that there was no record of the key maiden coming here, right? Is this record something that exists within your family? Yes. There's a book in my office that is a record of what my ancestors have written. Okay, so there is written documentation, and do you think Nicholas stole that shit? It's not something anyone can access. Only the head of the family can read it. You have your own secret language? Interesting. That's kind of... Now that is cool! They didn't bother to tell you shit about your mission, but they were like, we made sure to teach you, don't you tell this to anybody else but you. And he's like, okay. So, like, Nicola has no idea how to read it because he's not the head of the family. But what happens if Dante died before he could teach either his child or Nicola or someone else? All of a sudden, he just dies right now. Well, you're fucked because no one else can read it. It's like fucking, it's a coded cipher. No. Look, you bitches don't know how to plan. Having a written record is great, but, like, I don't know. Well, in the future, you'll have, like, thumbprint DNA print. Something that you can, like, oh, look, I unlocked this with my DNA print or some kind of shit. But, like, how do you... Now, this is a coded cipher. How the fuck do you read it if nobody teaches you how to read it? Oh my god, I don't think of these things. They just assume that everything's going to be fine and they'll be able to pass down their knowledge like they're supposed to. Assume. Anyway. Maybe there's some kind of clue in there about the relic. I doubt it. I've read through it a number of times, and it seems to be missing some important information. For one thing, there's no record of the initial establishment of the Falzone family. I see. That seems sus. I've been told before from my father that if something unexpected were to happen, a disciple would appear to help the Falzone family. Wait, when you say disciple, do you mean... Yes, the disciple appeared in front of us to try and take you away. It seems like he's laying low for now, since he doesn't have orders from the church. But it's funny, they're supposed to show up and help you, but he's showing up and trying to stop you. But he'll make his move the moment he does. I doubt we can rely on him to help us out. There was no hint in sight. We couldn't hide our disappointment of having no real leads to work from. But then... Ooh. Who is this? I'm gonna guess Orlok? Maybe? I don't know. But I see. It seems that you're not ready. Who's there? Dante reacted to the voice and moved in front of me with his gun out. Yeah, but they're behind you. Just kidding. I don't know. Who is it? The end. As if answering Dante's question, a silhouette slowly emerged from the shadows. Is it the Phantom of the casino? It's Emilio! He's in the credits. But I was like, we've never met him. His blonde hair wisped against his white clothes. He looked young, almost childlike. Aww, a kid. Dante mumbled in bewilderment, but showed no signs of lowering his gun. I'm just gonna guess he's wearing the same cross that we're wearing and then that Orlok is wearing, that he's also a disciple. The young boy's tone of voice and behavior implied someone of age and experience. There's a reason it hasn't reacted. Strange, given the situation. Especially considering you already have the key. What? The disciple is also not working as planned. Things were so much simpler back then. Maybe it was systemizing the church's practices to adapt with the times. The young boy continued speaking calmly without paying any heed to Dante. May I ask who you are? Ah, that's right. Where are my manners? Nice to meet you, Dante Falzone. And this generation's key maiden, Spacey Adornato. See, they say every 10 years, but that's not like a normal generation. They said 10 years, but that's not right. Like, we're gonna get old, and so somebody else would be born, like, type of thing. I get it, there might be, I'm getting old, but there's another key maiden born who's gonna take over, but, you know what I mean? Or when I die, a new one's born, type of a thing. But, like, there couldn't be one constant. Like, otherwise there'd be, like, 7 out there, so it'd be, I'm not important, you go find one of the other 6 bitches out there. He knows who we are? My name is Emilio. I'm a member of the church. Emilio? Emilio! Dante frowned at the mention of the church and seemed more cautious than ever. But see, it sounds like Orlok's going against what they want. He's like, because he said, like, the disciple's not working as planned. We gotta tweak that robot. Like, the young boy didn't seem fazed, however, and spoke in the same tone as before. I know it's difficult to believe, especially given the disciple incident, but I'm not your enemy. I'd appreciate it if you'd hear me out. I have no intention of harming you. He looks so sweet and innocent that if he stabbed us, I'd be like, guess my own fault, because he looks so trusting. He's precious. You're like, no, I'm not going to protect you as hard as I'm going to protect Leo, don't get me wrong, but pats on head. Good little church boy. Who's probably like 1,000 years old or some weird shit. He showed a smile as if we weren't a threat to him and continued. We're probably not, because he's like, all back in the day. Like, he seems to know shit like he's like 1,000 fucking years old. Bitch has got some kind of knowledge in there. The church isn't as unified as you think. We have our share of internal strife. It's the same as it is here in Berlone. And that disciple told us that the church has abandoned us. Are you telling me that cutting us off and siding with the Lao Shu wasn't the church's collective will? Exactly. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Only a certain faction led by someone in the church is supporting the Lao Shu.
I'm losing his voice over here.
The Pope is only concerned about one thing. That is, whether the Falzone family is, and will continue to function as, a guardian.
Emilio gave a gentle smile and looked straight at Dante.
Dante Falzone, I'm assuming you came here for the sole purpose of seizing the sacred relic. You probably wish to use it to regain the church's support in exchange.
And if so, he's looking at me, he's like, did you call this bitch? I didn't tell him. Dante's eyes were still narrowed, but Emilio responded with a calm maturity.
I praise you for making the right move. Securing the relic as successor of the Falzone family will prove your right to power. The church won't be able to deny your role, thereby alleviating our Pope's concerns. That would help me in turn as well. Extinguishing conflict is a wonderful thing.
But we came here and found nothing that would lift the seal, or even the seal itself, or what the fuck even we're looking for. Was the lore told of the Falzone correct? Is the relic really here in these ruins?
Ruins is such a crude thing to say.
Church or sacred site is a more apt term. Oh my god, Emilio's the fucking relic. He's like a fucking ghost!
But, with the state of the place, I can't blame you.
Emilio pouted a bit at the church's condition, then returned to the subject. Yeah, but old churches, okay, I do not like the church, I don't like religion, I don't like any of it, okay? But like old churches, like the really old stone building, they're gorgeous. Like those buildings are like the shit. Okay, all the church with the flying buttresses and shit, you're like, damn, the architecture is just gorgeous. But even that, like sometimes like old ruins and stuff, like this would be so freaking beautiful still. You'd be like, wow. Like when nature takes over and it starts to get overgrown and the vines are dangerous as fuck. But if you knew I could walk in here and not die and just look at all that, it's just beautiful. You know? You just think it's overgrown with vines and ivy and shit, and you're like, oh, it's so pretty. There is something kind of spooky and eerie but beautiful about nature taking over, like, ruins and stuff like that. Like,
the Key Maiden isn't herself complete, as she cannot fulfill her role at present.
Oh, god damn it, it's always me, isn't it?
I hesitantly asked Emilio what I was missing.
What am I missing, then?
You need the 8th sacrament to break the seal.
Huh? Aren't there only 7 sacraments? He's like, wow.
Indeed.
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. Could you explain what this 8th one is? She's like, aren't there only 7? Uh-huh. But I need the 8th? Yup. But there's only 7. Right. So I have all 7. Uh-huh. So we're good. No, you need the 8th. But there isn't an 8th, right?
I'd be more than happy to, but this is as far as I can get involved.
Emilio gently smiled, then spoke clearly as if delivering a prophecy. Return here when the mark is prominent. Emilio should have been like that whole time. You need the 8th sacrament. Should have talked like a fucking like old man. You came from a little kid, what?
May God be with you.
And with that, he turned his back to us and walked away in silence. No, he literally dis-a-fucking-peared, okay? His unusual presence and odd grace had us frozen for a moment. Wait! We snapped out of our trance and chased after him outside. But he was nowhere to be found, because he's a motherfucking, like, an angel or a ghost or some shit. Like, I know this is impossible, but it's as if he vanished into thin air. I mean, he knows some shit about, like, ye olde times, so, like, I'm just saying. We thought on the words Emilio left for us as we walked through the forest back to Berlone. And the child, Emilio, mentions something about receiving the 8th sacrament. Yes, I'm only familiar with the 7 sacraments they taught us in the church. I've never heard of an 8th one. Wow, we just suck at this church thing if we don't know. Like, are we been not paying attention? It's because I fall asleep, isn't it? Neither have I. She grew up in the church, so you'd think if anybody knew, it should be her. Say, how about we go to the church, Dante? Maybe there's something there we can refer to, or maybe Sister Sophia knows something. I see. Perhaps later instead. Wouldn't sooner be better? We'd need to go through Falce to get to Arca. With how Falce is now, I doubt now's a good time to go near there. It'll be a problem if they find you walking there with me. He's worried about me. It'll be fine, Dante. It's getting dark. I doubt anyone would notice. We'll put a wig and a dress on you. It'll be great. Let's cross-dress. We'll switch outfits. And we'll find you a wig. You put your scarf over your head like, and hide. I'll wear your suit. You wear my dress. And I'll put my hair up in your hat. It'll be fine. No one will even know. They'll be like, that's Dante Falzone. And you'll be like, no, I'm not. Just, what? See someone in a sexy suit and you automatically assume I'm Mafia? Bitch. Whatever. Everyone will leave us alone. Think it would work? It would probably work. Because, people are fooled by, glasses. You put glasses on and they're like, where did Superman go? So fucking weird. Oh, hey, Clark. When'd you get here? Takes his glasses off. Oh, my God. Clark, what happened? Superman, you gotta find Clark. I'm just saying, people are easily fucking fooled by a pair of glasses. If we swapped clothes, nobody'd fucking know. Fine, but the moment I sense danger, we're heading back to the hotel. Understood. Thank you, Dante. Yeah, we gotta have some kind of conflict here. Evening was upon us as we left the forest to head to Arca. Here's the weird thing. We don't have really any choices to make. I'm wondering how long, how is this gonna work out? Are we gonna find the relic and be... I guess that would be the good ending, right? You'd think. It's interesting. Fortunately, we were able to get to the church without drawing attention, which, if it wasn't the end of the game, we absolutely would draw attention and we'd run around and everything, but it's the end of the game, so they're like, we got there fine. Huh. We went to the refectory and found Sister, so I don't know why refectory is a hard word, because you want to say reflect, not refect, and it's like refectory, and you're like, that's the word, but it sounds weird. It's just one of those words that sounds wrong. If someone says, you're like, huh? It sounds wrong. It just sounds like you're saying paschetti, and you're like, no, it's spaghetti. You're like, reflectory. You're like, no, it's refectory. Refectory. Anyway. It's hard to read, because, I know what the word is, but, it just doesn't come out right. It doesn't sound right in your brain. You're like, no, it's missing some letters. And found Sister Sophia there, no different from a usual day.
Oh, my Space. It's been quite a while. You look like you've lost weight.
Sister Sophia, I'm so glad to see you. Now, anyway, on to bigger things. I extended my arms out and ran toward her. We both embraced each other tightly. If she turns out shady in any route, I'm just going to be sad, because I like her, okay? We like Sister Sophia. She's like our moms. Well, like Julia, too, But Julia's like our older sister, or like our aunt. Right.
I'm very happy to see you safe, Senor Falzone. The people have been too harsh toward your family as of late.
She's such a good lady. I mean, I know she's a nun, so she should be a good lady, but I'm just saying.
I can't believe the lies spreading among the townfolk here. It's truly saddening.
I appreciate your kind words, sister. I felt like continuing this topic would only hurt Dante, so I changed the subject. Sister Sophia, we actually came because we wanted to ask you something. Oh, this is Jean. For a second, I was like, who's Jean? Right, Jean. Jean-Luc. Little Jean-Luc Picard. Obviously.
Sister? Who are you talking to? Do we have guests?
I heard the pitter-patter of footsteps as the door opened and a burst of sound came forth. There stood the children I lived with at the church, both with surprised looks on their little faces. Only both? There's only two of them?
It's Sis? Where were you, Sis? We were so worried.
I'm sorry. So much happened and I forgot to let you all know. I felt a sharp pain in my heart from seeing how worried the kids were for me.
Jean, Laura, we're having a very important discussion, so maybe we can talk later.
Sister Sophia gently asked the kids to let us have some privacy.
Aww. That's not fair. We finally see Sis here, but we can't talk to her?
The kids were beginning to pout. Sister Sophia looked at us. We ain't got time for this!
Please wait in your room. I'll be there as soon as I put the children to bed. My dearies, it's time we go to bed. Let's head back to your room.
Look, you should have been like, okay, we'll be out in the hall. You should have left and you wouldn't have to go to bed. Goddamn kids are stupid. Sophia left the refectory, taking the sullen kids with her. Oh, somebody's gonna come in and oh god. Look, I'm stressed right now, okay? Like this is stressing me out. Like, okay, we're at the church, right? We're at the ruins. Something bad's gonna happen. No, here comes Emilio. Hi, Emilio. You know, and you're like, oh, okay. And then we come here, oh god. We got here fine. Okay. Now we're here, and Sister Sophia's like, I'm gonna put the kids to bed. Oh god, someone's gonna die. It can't all go well. Something bad has to happen before the good ending happens, right? I'm just saying. Then Dante... Yes, lead the way. Sister Sophia is letting us take a man to our room. Girl! Sister Sophia. I'm sorry the place is so plain. I rarely have guests in here, so... I also never thought I'd have a man in here, but... My room must look like a closet compared to the fellow's own manor. Your room is well kept, considering the fact that I haven't been here in like a week or more. Probably at least months. I don't even know. So, this is where you lived all your life. I watched Dante looking around the room with a spark of interest in his eyes. I didn't expect him to be so interested. That's a little peek into your... Desk? Nothing. No personal effects. Noticing that I was looking at him, he turned his attention back to me. Like somebody's bedroom or house or whatever. It's just like you can like go in and like, oh, you can find someone's interest and likes and things about them by looking at all their stuff, right? But like, when you come in here, you're like, there's literally nothing. There's not even like a picture. Like, we don't even have like a knitted scarf. Nothing. Like, literally nothing. Maybe we do, but you know what I mean? Like, what is it? If there's something you want to say, don't hold back. Oh, no, it's nothing. It's just that it feels a bit strange seeing you in my room. Now that you mention it, this is strange. I wasn't sure what he found interesting about my room, but he was making me nervous. This whole game is making me nervous. The shoe is gonna fucking drop over here. There's nothing special here. Not at all. I can't seem to word this right, but the place feels comforting. Oh, I'll get it! I opened the door and let Sister Sophia inside. She greeted us again with a nod of her head.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. And now then, shall we continue?
Thank you. So we came to ask... And Sister Sophia's like, the what now? She's like, we're really all bad at this church thing if nobody knows what this is. Emilio was gonna smite us. I explained what I could, then asked her about the 8th sacrament.
I'm sorry, but I've never heard of an 8th sacrament before.
I see. Sister Sophia shook her head, and I felt I may have been a bit too optimistic. Sister, I'm sorry to ask at this hour, but do you mind if we see your library?
Oh, why, of course. You're free to look at anything here.
Having received approval from Sister Sophia, Dante looked at me seriously. And there's bound to be something here that touches on the sacrament. I need your help. Sure thing! We walk out holding hands, and Sister Sophia's like, oh! She's like, oh, good. He's the nice one. We brought back as many books as possible from the library, hoping at least one made mention of the sacrament. Why can't you just read them in the library? Do they not have chairs in the library? Is this a torture church? What the fuck? Like... We each went through the stacks of books, searching for information and clues. They just didn't want to give you a different background, is probably what it is for the library. We scanned each book, page by page. We kept at it, book after book. With how tired we both were, we soon fell asleep. Night passed with us in my room, unable to wake up to continue our search. Well, we slept with a man in our church room.
Good morning! Hey! You're both still asleep!
Oh my god. Oh, damn it. I was like, do we get a morning snuggle, CJ? Where we're like both, he's passed out and we're curled up with him and it's like, oh, so inappropriate. Huh? Jean's voice woke me up and I gasped at seeing the sun already high in the sky. Morning already. We must have been tired.
Oh yeah! By the way, Sister Sophia said that breakfast's ready.
We'll be right there. Dante and I got ourselves ready and hurried downstairs to the refectory. We somehow made it down to the dining hall without looking too shabby. Then all of a sudden... Space! Oh, it's Elena. A familiar voice called my name, and she lunged forward to take me in her arms. Elena? I hugged her back, and we both looked at one another. I have been worried sick about you! You have some gall to not contact me since the last time you came back here! But Sister Sophia said not to worry, but... I'm sorry, Elena. Please forgive me. I consoled her by rubbing her back and tried to calm her down. I'm sorry. That was so rude of me. It's just that... Elena let me go and apologized. It was then she noticed Dante standing next to me. She's like, Oh! Girl, I totally understand. Oh, and this is... Just as she was about to greet Dante, she stopped, then began to stutter. Oh, wait, he... Signor Falzone? I'm pleased to meet you, Signorina. As you said, I am Dante Falzone. Could you imagine being like, you see this man, you're like, and he's like, yes, I am. And you're like, now I feel even dumber. Dante bowed his head like a gentleman, showing respect to Elena. Takes his tip's head, I'm so sorry. To think I was acting this way in front of the Falzone's boss. It was obvious that Elena was flustered. I giggled, seeing her blush in confusion. You're like, nah, it's fine. He's a giant marshmallow. That's all right. Calm down, Elena.
Why don't we talk after breakfast? The children are all waiting.
We accepted Sister Sophia's offer and took our seats in the dining hall. There's really only two, though. She said the two children I watched. But there were other children, right? I feel like there should be more than just those two, but... I mean, sure, and they're not going to have a bazillion kids talking. We're only going to... But it just seems weird. I hope our soup and biscotti suit your taste, Senor. It's been a while since I've had your minestra? Minestra? But it's as wonderful as usual, Elena. I taste a hint of bay leaf.
Say, sis, you want to play today? We can go outside after we finish. No, sis is going to read us a book. You said that, remember, Jean? Oh, yeah, that's right. We haven't heard sis read us a book in a long time. I miss it.
Thank you both, but let's be a bit quieter while we're eating, okay? And I'm sorry, but I can't do it today. Could you remember to remind me next time?
Aw, sis, you've been away for so long, Jean, she can play with you again next time. Be a nice boy, you hear? Sister Sophia will beat you with a stick.
Sister Sophia kindly spoke to Jean, and he reluctantly nodded in agreement.
Okay. Now then, we should have a nice, quiet meal. We can chat later.
Sister Sophia's like, I just want fucking peace and quiet during breakfast. With Sister Sophia's words, everyone in the refectory went back to eating their meals. I whispered to Dante sitting next to me so that no one could hear. I'm sorry for all the commotion, Dante. Not at all. I haven't had a meal like this before. I think I see why you are who you are now. Dante looked about the area with a smile, then continued to eat. After breakfast, we went back to my room to resume checking the books for clues.
Are you two alright? I've seen a few more books like these. I can bring them by.
Thank you, Elena. That would be great. Along with additional books, Elena helped out by bringing us cups of coffee while we continued our search. We sipped our warm coffee and sat, flipping through book after book after book. Unfortunately, we couldn't find anything particularly helpful. It's getting dark, and we shouldn't stay here for much longer. We don't want our whereabouts to be known. We haven't exhausted all of our resources here yet, but I think it's best that we head back to the hotel. True. It would be bad if something happened now. Let me clean the place up before we go. Before we go, sorry. We returned the books we got to the library, then made our way back to the hotel. Although we didn't find anything, just being back at the church made me feel a lot better. Perhaps seeing that I was feeling better than before, Dante offered an idea. Maybe we can go back at a later date, and for now, we can have someone send more books to us. Dante... Gah! That voice... We were going through the alleys to avoid being seen when all of a sudden we heard a loud yell. He knows who it is, but we don't. We ran toward the street and peeked around the corner to see what had happened. It better not be Leo! A number of the Falzone family members were lying on the ground. 2 were standing against a silhouette holding a long weapon. Oh! This bitch. A small young girl stood there with the weapon in hand. It was clear that she was with the Lao Shu.
You guys are so boring!
That's... Dante, you know her? Yang's underling. I believe they call her Lan. She looks familiar. The young girl, Lan, shouted in a frustrated voice.
So where's Dante Falzone? Bring him here! Hurry up!
Like we call the boss!
You don't understand, do you? Well then, I guess I don't need you anymore.
She brandished her spear-like weapon and began spinning it over her head.
You're gonna die, you know.
Oh! She swept her weapon, bringing the man down. Now there was only one standing.
You're my messenger. Listen to me carefully. Bring Dante Falzone here.
Something isn't right about her. She looks crazed in the eyes. Oh my god, she took the drugs that Lee gave her, didn't she? She took those motherfucking drugs and they made her insane. She did ask Yang for approval to kill.
Can I kill the one who killed Faye?
He's like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want, I don't care. He did say it was fine, but then Lee gave her drugs to make her like... Her eyes kept twitching and an eerie grin was plastered across her red face. Dante should just shoot her in the fucking face. Sounds terrible, but like, kill her, kill us. I mean, sorry, bye? Something was definitely wrong with her. It's almost as if she's drunk.
Until the great Falzone comes! Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna play with the people here. I wonder how many I can get before he comes.
She then looked at the people who were watching the commotion from afar. They slowly began to back away, but...
Come on, run! I like playing chase. Let's see how long you all last.
She suddenly sprinted toward the citizens and swung her weapon around erratically. You knew some kind of crazy was going to happen, and here you go. I didn't expect this, though. No! Dante scoped the area quickly to see if there were any other members of the Lao Shu around. You stay here. Keep yourself hidden. I'll go. Dante... I was worried about Dante, but if I held him back now, the people of Falce could die. Please be careful. I prayed for Dante's safety. He looked at me and nodded, then headed out into the street. She's a good girl, because like every other heroine, you know, be like, no, don't go, I don't want you to die. But she's like, if you don't go, everyone else is gonna die, so like, save your peeps. She's like, be careful, like, get on out there. Like, I like how she doesn't protest at all. Like, you want to protest, so I get it, like, oh my god, no, you're gonna die, but, like, she knows damn well, if I hold him back, other people are gonna suffer, and, like, he's, you know, he's got too much honor to, like, let people die for him, you know what I mean? So, good boy. Wait, did I read that? Whoops. Okay, yeah, no. Hold it right there.
Huh?
You were looking for me, right? I'm Dante Falzone.
That was quick. I was planning on painting the town red, if you know what I mean.
It's against the rules to lay hands on civilians. Does the Lao Shu not even know the basics? That would probably be a slap in the face if she wasn't fucking high as fuck, but...
You guys made the rules on your own.
Lon scoffed at Dante's words with disinterest.
The Lao Shu don't need rules. We do as we please.
Let me ask you, where are your members? Did you come out here alone?
That's right. I can handle the Falzone's boss all by myself.
With that, she positioned her weapon and headed straight for Dante. Oh, the 8th sacrament is going to be us sacrificing ourselves for him. Sacrifice ourselves to save someone or get stabbed or something. She's going to stab us right in the shoulder where our cross... I'm just throwing it out there. She closed in swiftly and swung the heavy weapon with ease. Dante took a step back to dodge the attack, then pulled out his gun. You're fast, but that's all. Looks like I can handle a Lao Shu lackey all by myself. But he only shot her in the arm. Dante calmly pulled the trigger. The bullet struck her on the right arm. Gotta take her out of one of her legs so she can't run at you.
You sure got me, but... You think I'd give up?
She lifted her shoulder and positioned her weapon again. What? That shot would have made her drop her weapon. Oh, that shot should have made her drop her weapon. The pain and shock would have been excruciating. Dante seemed to read her moves. He was dodging her attacks with little effort. Like superhuman.
It doesn't hurt at all. And here I thought Lee's medicine had no taste. I guess this is one way to make use of it. I kinda like it.
Leave now before you die. And then again, I doubt you'll listen to me.
What do you think? The Falzone killed Faye. So boring without him. So now you have to play with me, Falzone. Take responsibility, will ya?
Despite her youthful appearance, she exuded pure hatred and the palpable intent to kill Dante. Her adrenaline must be helping to dull the pain. If anything, her lack of sanity should bring her down by Dante's hands. Faye, I've heard that name before. Faye, was it? You're working for Yang. You should have known that by now. The young boy from before.
It was so boring just waiting around for you. So now it's time for you to die.
Lon kicked the ground and jumped high into the air, swinging her weapon down from above. The blade landed beside Dante and shattered the stone road. Bitch is strong! She's strong. I suppose this is all you can do without your partner. He's taunting her now! You killed the kid, Dante! And you're taunting her! That is so cold! I still love you, but damn. Dante sidestepped her powerful blow and repositioned himself. His fingers slowly pulled the trigger. Did he actually kill her? Lon had a surprised look on her face. The bullet pierced her chest. I mean, he was trying to not kill her. So you gotta give him credit for that. With the shot to her heart, she slowly crumbled to the ground. Dante turned his back on her, then went to see one of the townspeople on the ground. Are you all right? You're the Falzones. You got a nerve coming here. She went mad because of you, I bet. Damn Falzone. Oh, if I were me, I'd walk over there and I'd slap him in the face on the ground and be like, you shut up, he saved your life, you punk. You want me to fucking kill you? Because I'll go get her weapon and I'll stab you right fucking through, you bitch. Shut up. Give me that weapon and take it. What? What? He saved your life, you little bitch. That little pillar that's right there, it's like a weird triangle shape. I mean, I guess it's square, but it just like is weird because the angle, like you don't, it's just like, is there like, it feels like there's something, you know, it's literally just like a column from something, but it just looks so out of place there because it feels like the far right of the screen is just like a whole other CG background that's slowly leaking into this one. Because like the perspective doesn't seem right. Because like, unless it's a triangle, if it's, depending on how you're looking at it, it should have depth to it, and it really doesn't have it. It's weirding me out. Like, I don't know. The young man that Dante saved berated Dante straight to his face. Dante knew about his reputation from reading the newspaper, but hearing it directly was, hey, no. Still, Dante didn't say a word in response to the young man and simply walked away. Dante, when we're done here, we better head out before we attract any more attention. He didn't look well at all. He was able to keep his composure earlier, but he's going to break down. The careless words spat at him from the very people he protected seemed to cut deep. I could feel his pain and sorrow, but all we could do was head back to the hotel. And if he hadn't shown up, and people had died, they would have been like, stupid Dante Falzone, he sucks, he didn't even come and save us. She was looking for him. He comes out, saves him. They're like, you suck. It's all your fault anyway. Wow, ungrateful fucking punks. With what just happened, we rushed back to the hotel without saying a single word. Dante took his coat off, then scoffed as if laughing at a joke. And I knew what to expect from reading the newspaper, but that was something. You did what you could to save him, and he still treated you like that. The whole area would have been a bloodbath had Dante not involved himself in the commotion. Dante risked himself to help the townspeople, yet they repaid him with a slap in the face, and I'd have repaid their repayment with an actual slap in the face, and I'd have picked up fucking, lawn stick and I'd be like, you want me to, stab you with it? Yeah, then shut the fuck up and show some respect. I'm seriously, I'm an asshole and don't, I probably never would because somebody would, smack me. Ah! I'm a big I'm a big wimp and a wuss. That came out weird, but yeah. But in this game, oh hell no, I'm gonna teach a bitch some manners. Oh god. Dante looked at me blankly, seeing how much angrier I was than he. Yeah, we're angry and he's sad. He's like, I'm just gonna go sit in the bathtub and cry a little bit. And we're like, I'm gonna go kick his ass. And then I'll join you in the bathtub crying, because then I'll be like, no, I'm sad about it. Dante? Nothing. I'm just surprised, that's all. By the way, I forgot to tell you. Grazie. Your care's appreciated. Help me understand something. Why are you angry? I've seen what you've been through. I felt myself frowning, but slowly tried to keep myself from exploding in anger. You've protected this town and said you still wanted to do so, right? And yet, the fresh memory of what he had just experienced brought tears to my eyes. No, aww. Dante reached out to embrace me and patted me gently on the back. He pulled away a bit and wiped the tears from my eyes with his finger. I'm fine. I'm not suffering as much as you think. I have to admit, I am surprised at how calm I am. Yeah, because I've got all the anger for you. It's okay, I'll be angry for both of us. Dante continued in his usual tone. The Mafia maintains their status by gaining respect from the community, but they're still despised. I didn't expect anything different, so I'm fine. No, you're telling me this as a boss, right, Dante? Dante heard my words and suddenly went quiet. What about you, Dante? Doesn't it hurt? He looked into my teary eyes and let out a sigh. You are so... He held my shoulders with his hands. Kiss me again? He gently pushed me onto the bed. Oh, hi, what? Oh! Oh, hello. What's going on here? Oh, I need a fan. Dante propped himself above me, then suddenly placed his lips on mine. I'm not moaning, but I know it's what the fuck is happening? But this was the second time we kissed. But this time it was more than just a gentle kiss. It felt rushed, as if it were urgent. Oh my god. Please. The 8th sacrament. Oh, girl! Really? Oh, really? The church wanted you to do this? I really would have thought it would have been sacrifice yourself for somebody. Okay, maybe jumping in to save him and whatever, but now I'm just is this it? In order to be the key maiden, we gotta unlock some shit. Okay. I wouldn't see that one come. Well, now, if it happens, yeah, but... His warm breath was making my head spin. I never would have originally thought of that, till this. My fingertips felt numb from his soft, yet forceful kiss. Oh, damn! Look, she even got her leg around him and everything. Girl. She's getting a little frisky, too. This continued for longer than I could think. I breathed out, gasping for air, at which he slowly pulled himself away. What are you... I was expressing my gratitude for your concern for me as a person, not as a boss. Well, got to express my concern for you as a person more often if this is how you thank me. I didn't say anything special. Maybe it wasn't to you, but your words made me happy. Helplessly so. Dante, I really wasn't hurt back then, and that was because I believed. I knew you would still accept me. As long as you're on my side, I can keep on fighting, no matter what anyone says about me. We're over time, but it's okay. His touch made my body burn hot. I looked deep into his azure eyes, cast with a tinge of suffering. And this town and my family couldn't be in a worse state. But as long as you're with me, I'm not worthy of being boss. No wonder Nicola left the family with me as its leader. Dante. He looked like he was in pain, wincing at his own words. Is there anything I can do to help? I wanted to help take away his suffering. Tell me, will you accept me? I think I already have. Space, I want you to be by my side. His eyes looked at me, filled with passion. I whispered silently to him, Yes, I'll always be with you. I love you, Dante. I could feel the warmth of his breath come upon me. This is proof that you're the Key Maiden. My clothes came apart, exposing the top of my chest with the mark. Dante slowly ran his finger down over the mark. His gentle caress tickled me in a way that made a gasp escape involuntarily. I'm sorry. Does it hurt? No, it just tickles. It's all right. The mark doesn't hurt me. I see. I'm sorry to surprise you like this. I like that you're apologizing for it. He's like, I'm sorry about this, and you're like, please don't be. Dante looked relieved that he didn't hurt me. I bashfully began to speak. I'm not worried much about the mark itself, but it's a bit embarrassing to show, so I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't look at it. Embarrassing? You mean the mark? But why? Well, I don't want the person I love to look at it. Even if this is supposed to be the sign of the Key Maiden, it is still a mark. I see it differently. It's beautiful, and something profoundly sacred. Really? Yes. Let me say something to you. Whether you have this mark or not doesn't change the fact that I love you. Dante's honest feelings filled my heart with joy. Fill mine with joy, too. It's a beautiful moment. Our lips came together again. I made the right choice, falling in love with Dante. For now. We kissed passionately, seeking each other's warmth. I prayed deep inside my heart. I hope he feels all I have for him. I want him to know I love him. I want him to know I believe in him. I want him to know I accept him. Oh! That night, our bodies came together. Our very hearts and souls melded into one. No! It really got steamy in here. You thought you were going to get a steamy little, like, oh, hi scene, but no, that was like, see, that's what I like. I like it when it gets, you're like, oh, it's getting a little hot, and you're like, whatever, and it's like, our bodies became one, and you're like, okay, it's a little bit better than, like, when they get a little more detailed, and you're like, okay, I want to know that it happened. Not like it ends there, and then you're like, did we do each other, or what? Like, I don't know. I like, our bodies became one. Okay, we did. It's confirmation without the graphic details. Even it's subtle graphic. When it gets, you're like, oh god, I don't want to read this out loud. But yeah. So, have fun with that ending. We'll do chapter 9 in the next part, but that was a beautiful place to end it. Aren't you glad? We could have started with that in the next part, but no. We're ending with that in this one, so. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.